Hello everyone, this is Gavin and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Baldur Trilogy as my solo fighter thief. Or fighter mage, what am I talking about? So right here I've been doing
Yes?
some of the
How are
planar
you?
sphere stuff. I had never done any of this before and I ended up screwing it up and you'll see that a little bit later. But I read about the optimal way to do this and I honestly don't think I'm missing out on too much. I miss out on a ring of wizardry, but it's really a non-issue.
Yeah. I'll see to it. It's done. Yeah?
So I wanted to go see what Cromwell could make from the stuff that I had picked up. I didn't think he'd have anything that would be important for my character, and I was right. But I figured it was worth a look anyway. So to pull the veil back a little bit, I recorded the last 5 episodes of Shadows of Om today. So we are finished with Shadows of Om. I just need to commentate and upload them. I'll probably get a couple up today, but next week I'll put the rest of them up, hopefully on Monday, and then we'll be starting on Throne of Ball as soon as that's finished. So I'm pretty excited to do that. Shadows of Om, as you've been noticing, kind of became a joke. It's pretty easy at this point.
It's probably best left to me.
So really what we have to do is I wanted to take care of a couple tiny quests, um, finish that up, and basically just steamroll the rest of the game. I didn't do everything in this playthrough, nor will I, but I feel like we had a pretty good overall playthrough of this game. Here, the next few minutes are going to be pretty boring. I'm going to sit here and memorize scrolls for the XP, and it takes a while because I kept failing and having to reload. So feel free to skip about 3 or 4 minutes ahead. It takes a little while, and I'm not going to commentate over any of it. Alright, so remind me that that gets finished at 7 minutes. Oh, no one's going to remind me. I just have to remember. But anyway, we're done with that. I just wanted to look at what she had. I never realized this Mace of Disruption was as good as it is. It strikes as a +3 weapon. You can improve it to a +2 weapon with Cromwell. I don't remember exactly what you need to do that. But it's actually a really great weapon. One of my big complaints with doing a fighter cleric, or not a fighter cleric, I guess a fighter cleric or a ranger cleric going through Baldur's Gate 1, is that you really want that mace proficiency or the specialization, because the mace in Baldur's Gate 1, the stupefier, is just way too powerful. But I never thought there was really great maces in Baldur's Gate 2. Now I'm mistaken, because that Mace of Disruption is really great. The Skull Crusher is a +3 weapon. I think there's some really good ones in Throne of the Ball. It's really not a bad or wasteful weapon style like I kind of thought it was.
I hope this is worth it. Never betray trust. Such is the
And you can
will
get
of the
that Mace of
vigilant
Disruption
one.
quite early if you just bum rush the Shadow Thieves stuff. You can essentially do it right after DR Hold when you get your Flail of Ages, and you can have your Mace of Disruption in your offhand. So as you can see here, we're doing the Unseeing Eye stuff. I was originally just doing it so I can get the Kangax stuff, but I didn't realize how much experience you get from this Unseeing Eye quest. I level up like once or even twice, I think, during this. Which probably means I'm really close to leveling up right now, but I just thought that was a lot of experience, especially since I'm just about at the XP cap. I thought about fighting those ambushes, but then I decided against it. It's more trouble than it's worth.
Hold! You tread on sacred ground. Only those who serve the Unseeing Eye may enter. I am Gaul, High Priest of the One God.
And I'm sure it's pretty obvious, but the reason we wanted to do the Kangax quest so much is because that ring is just exceptionally powerful. It's going to be one that I'm going to use for the remainder of this game and Throne of Ball. And aside from that, I really only need one other item, and we get that during the main quest, and you'll see what that item is. And then really, after that, yeah, we want the Staff of the Ram, because it's a significantly higher DPS than the Staff of the Magi. It just lacks the utility. So we do want that, but we will still primarily be using the Staff of the Magi through the entirety of this game, of course, and the entirety of Throne of Ball. So because we want that Staff of the Ram pretty badly, we're going to be doing Watcher's Keep immediately when we get the opportunity in Throne of Ball.
I hope this is worth it.
So I kept wondering why I was getting damaged by some of those traps, because I have this cloak on that, in theory, should make me immune to all magic damage. But I think the reason why I'm taking damage is because it's considered being cast by a wand, not by a spell. Considering how much XP you get for this quest, I've been playing with the idea of doing this early in a playthrough. But the more I think about it, the more I realize, I mean, it's an ultra difficult area. Um, so you kind of need. You probably don't need the Shield of Baldur on to do it, but it is helpful. Alternatively, you kind of need the ability to cast Animate Dead, particularly the level 15 variant, the good one that I've been using for the past several hours of gameplay.
Give me some direction. I'll see to it. Let's do this quick and pain. I'm waiting. Time is up for you. My spell is ruined. It's done. My spell is
So that
ruined.
spellcasting failure chance that you get cast on you from those beholders is pretty annoying. It doesn't seem like you can resist it in any way.
Let's do this quick and yeah.
And there's the Ashadina, the second set, or the second Ashadina Warhammer that's in this game. It's a good weapon, but it's not as good as it is in Baldur's Gate 1, obviously, just because all the gear is much better in this game. There's no reason to use that weapon once you have Flail of Ages or Crom Fair, or even the Hammer of Thunderbolts is just a straight upgrade. Which, come to think of it, I don't think we ever went in there and got the Hammer of Thunderbolts. If you're unaware, under the Temple District, to the right of where you get Hair d'Elise, there's another hidden doorway that leads into a little Illithid lair. So I was thinking I was going to use those scrolls to kill this monster, but I can't use them. So I end up just using a charge off of my Rod of Resurrection because, like I said before, it does do the full heal thing, which fulfills the criteria for doing healing points to that enemy.
You are almost beyond the sight of eye.
Ordinarily, it's a non-issue because you are a ball spawn and you'll get Cure Light Wounds. If you are a non-evil character, hell, maybe if you are an evil character, you still get Cure Light Wounds. I don't remember. And you're probably also running in a party with Jaheira or Animen or some other cleric that can cast healing spells.
The assembled rod would surely destroy the beast. You tell my people. This simple act of bringing together the two parts of the rod must be done. Will instill a small.
Yes?
It's probably best left to me. Give me some direction. Hey, not a concern. I hope this is worth it. Is that you? Have you returned successful?
I love this cloak. I had never used it before, somehow, and I kept casting skull trap and stuff on myself, and just like you saw there when I was fighting the shadow fiends, and I kept wounding myself, as you do with a spell like that. But I'm immune to my own magic, so I can use things like fireball or lightning bolts, anything that has the potential to hurt you. I can cast that on myself, and it's a non-issue.
See to it.
I don't know what I was expecting here, casting a death spell on an undead group of enemies.
Yeah. Holds. Yeah.
But it seems like Skull Trap does the job. Generally, if they fail their saving throw, it's doing something like 70 damage. Just insane amounts. Because it seems like Skull Trap is not capped still.
Let's do this quick and painful. Yeah.
So it's doing a d6 per level of the caster. I'm level 26 or 27, so let's say it's doing 26 d6 damage. So let's say the average roll is 3. What is 26 times 3? 18, 58, about 60 damage on average. Or is my math way off? No, it's about 70 damage on average, maybe even more sometimes.
Hold still. Hold still.
So for an instant cast level 3 spell, that is really, really, really good. Particularly when you start using improved alacrity, where spellcasting time means something. So this is one of the sloppier fights in this video, or in any of the videos, to be honest.
I'm waiting. Give me some direction.
And it wouldn't be as big of a problem if I wasn't out of skull traps, but I am.
Scream! Scream for mercy!
I honestly don't know why Horde Wilting works on Undead, because the spell description says that it deals damage by draining the water out of a body. So to a living creature, I mean, that's a significant problem, obviously. But to a dead creature, sure, it might deal a little bit of damage because they lose some mobility. But for things like mummies and skeletons that are already about as dry as you can get, they're literally bone dry. It doesn't make any sense for the spell to deal damage, but I'm glad it does. So those gauntlets of dexterity are very good when you're using a party, because a lot of the NPCs do not have great dexterity. Keldorn comes to mind particularly because he has really great stats aside from his dexterity. So you can have him put on those gauntlets, which will significantly improve his armor class and therefore his survivability in this, I guess, early to mid game part of Shadows of Amn. Once you get into Throne of Ball, armor class means a little bit less, and resistances mean a little bit more. So the hardiness, high level ability becomes significantly more important than having just a straight high armor class.
I'm there. Yeah.
So this was that halberd I was talking about so long ago. Um, +3 halberd that deals extra damage versus dragons. So it's not amazing, but it is a +3 weapon. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, if it must be done.
So I always have to use Death Spell just to see what it works on and what it doesn't. So in the future, I kind of have that in the back of my mind. So when you're summoning these Mordenkainen swords and the skeleton warriors, make sure you summon the skeleton warriors first because they last for 8 hours versus the magical swords, which only last one round per level. So 27 rounds is still pretty long as far as summons go, but obviously 8 hours is much longer. So if you want to get the most out of your Mordenkainen swords, make sure you're casting those after summoning your animate deads. And I mentioned this before. I had asked on Reddit how many attacks per round the Mord swords get, and they only get one. So the regular haste spell is just as good as improved haste for these.
I'm waiting. I'm willing. Yeah, I hope this is worth it.
Here you see my swords already unsummoning.
Give me some. I'll see to it. I'm what it's done. Yeah, I'm there. Hold still.
So here I'm just fooling around with my spellbook. Seeing as improved haste is not very good for Mordenkainen swords, I think I drop a few of those, end up rolling with only 1 or 2 memorized, and then I was going to try out Chain Lightning, but I was so underwhelmed with the amount of damage it deals, particularly because it's not an instant cast spell. It's like a casting time of 6 or 7 ordinarily, which means it casts about the same as a Melf's Acid Arrow. I just wasn't impressed with the spell. So for my level 6, I figure Death Spell, Improved Haste, and Pierce Magic are really the only things I'm ever going to need. I don't think an Invisible Stalker is ever worth using just because Anime Dead and Mordenkainen swords are just significantly better in every way.
Give me some direction. I'm waiting, if it must be done. Yeah.
So if you're ever looking for a quick and dirty way to do this quest, you can actually summon the Unseen Eye up above, where the Unseen Eye Enclave is, just by attacking Gaul and his friends. You can attack them, and then the Unseen Eye will appear there. And for some reason, he's not invincible like he is down here, unless you use the Rift key. But you get you get a bunch of experience. You miss out on some, obviously, because you don't do any of the stuff at the Temple of Alminator or talking to the ex-Unseeing Eye members. But if you're just looking for a way to get the quest done quickly, that's a way that you can do it.
I hope this is worth it.
So yeah, right there you saw me level up, and we are actually maxed out right now. I didn't realize that when you dual class as a level 13 fighter, literally no experience is lost because your 6,750,000 plus the 1,250,000 from your fighter class adds up to the XP cap of 8 million. So there's no XP loss at all. Like some class combos, you get stuck at like 7,800,000 or something. So you're not quite as powerful as you ordinarily would think you have the potential to be. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, but I guess it's just another argument for dual classing at level 13 if you're going to mage, just because it is optimal in every way.
You have This is the end of
And that's another 500,000 XP from doing this. If you didn't notice that, it's like 472,500. Oh no, I was a little off, but no, that's 47,000. My mistake. But still, that's a lot of experience just for walking over there and talking to those guys.
I'll see to it.
And you get experience for finishing the quest. I think you get experience for talking to the ex-Unseen Eye members. It's just XP is given out like candy in this quest.
It's done.
You should not have come to this place.
Give me some direction.
Scream! Scream for mercy!
Yeah. I'm there.
You are a great and wonderful being for what you have done. May the gods smile upon you forever for doing this for that creature.
So you saw my sloppy fight against the Shade Lich. That protection from magical weapons is pretty easy to get around. You spring a non-magical weapon. And that's that. But anyway, this is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.